everybody, how's it going? Statman coming back at you once again today, and today I'm going to be talking to you about some Blu-rays that I got from Kino Lorber. They had yet another sale. Seems like they've been doing a lot of sales this year. I mean, like once a month or so, it seems like. Maybe not that frequently, but at least once every 2 months. Like guaranteed, I think we can come to the conclusion it's been at least once every 2 months. And that's pretty crazy. I don't know what's going on with them. I'm kind of worried. I'm like, are they not making enough money and they're like about to go out of business, so they really need to sell stuff right away? I don't know what's going on, but whatever's happening, I'm taking advantage of the deals while I can. And this time around, I had enough money that I literally bought nine. It took me a while to figure out how to open my fingers for that because I'm stupid. But no, 9 different titles today, and all of them are titles I have never seen before. So I don't know if that tells you anything. I just felt like watching movies I'd never seen before. A. B. When it comes to Kino Lorber, a lot of movies that they have on Blu-ray and on DVD for that matter are titles I've never seen before. And then C. Just wanted to see some older movies that just had never seen before, you know. So these are movies that I looked into. I watched the trailers. I looked into them on IMDb. I, looked at their scores and ratings and stuff like that. I kind of got a sense for what they were about, what was going on there, and based on that, I made some decisions about movies that I wanted to see that I had never seen before. So 9 titles. All of them, I believe, a few of them were over $10. I think some were $10.99, but most of them were under $10. So what I'm going to do is go from the oldest to the newest, the earliest release date to the latest release date. So I believe the latest one was 1999, and the earliest one here is 1947. So the first movie I got here was The Paradine Case, which is a movie directed by none other than Alfred Hitchcock. I had never seen it. I'd never even heard of it. But when I saw it was a movie directed by Alfred Hitchcock, I'm just like, yeah, I definitely need to check that out. And I looked a little bit more into it, and I realized this is a film noir. Like, it might not be technically considered a film noir for all I know, but, Hitchcock is not somebody who's well known for doing noir. Alright, he just isn't. But in this case, like, some of the plot elements, some of the things going on in the movie are very noirish. And then, of course, there are, like, things happening with the cinematography, just that I could tell from the trailers for it, that were just, like, clearly the kind of thing that you'd expect to see from a film noir. So I'm just like, this is totally a noir. I can't believe it. Alfred Hitchcock directed a noir film that I haven't seen. I need to see this. I definitely need to see this. So that is exactly why I picked this up. I think this one was like one of the more expensive ones, $9.99 or something like that. But yeah, pretty good deal. And hey, screenplay by David O. Selznick, which, if you remember, I recently got in my other Kino Lorber sale a few months back. I got Portrait of Jenny, I believe that's what it's called. And that was a David O. Selznick film. David O. Selznick did some pretty cool stuff, so I'm expecting good things from this, especially considering it's an Alfred Hitchcock movie. You can't go wrong there. Speaking of notable, well-known, and respected directors and filmmakers, how about Frank Capra? This is a Christmas movie from Frank Capra that I actually haven't seen. Of course, you'll remember It's a Wonderful Life. Frank Capra did It's a Wonderful Life, which is, for many people, one of the best Christmas movies ever made. Like, the defining Christmas movie, some might even say. I definitely feel like there's a reason for that. I have gotten to the point where I watch it at least once a year. It's definitely one of those, like, for me, required important viewing for Christmas. But I've never seen anything else that Frank Capra ever did that was, like, Christmas related, so when I saw this was up there, and I think this one was like, I think this was like $10 as well. But when I saw it was up there, it was like Pocket Full of Miracles. Frank Capra, Christmas? I mean, they got a Christmas tree in the background there. What's going on here? And then I looked into the synopsis, and it sounded interesting, so, I definitely wanted to check that out just because, well, Frank Capra, Christmas, can't go wrong there. You know what I mean? So I will save this for Christmas and we'll see how I feel about it then. But for now, I'm pretty glad I picked it up. I think it's probably a pretty damn good movie that just doesn't really get talked about as much as It's a Wonderful Life. So, yeah. Next up, if you're looking for even more classic, well-known, and well-respected filmmakers, well, you can't get much better than Billy Wilder, which I think is honestly one of my favorite directors. I think, like, whenever I see any of his movies, I'm just blown away, not only by, like, the filmmaking and all that stuff, but by the writing in particular, because he was such a phenomenal writer. Just, oh my God, he had a way with words, a way of, like, making dialogue that was just so snappy and so on point and always just delightful to hear. It felt natural in a way that you really don't see in many movies nowadays even. So yeah, definitely love Billy Wilder. And Irma La Duce, I've never actually heard of this movie or seen this movie, and I had never seen anything of it until I looked into it before purchasing it. Billy Wilder wrote and directed this film. It's got Jack Lemmon in it. That was enough for me to be like, oh hell yeah. But then I saw like a few scenes from the film as well, and I was just like, I don't know what's going on here. Didn't really know at the time what the movie was about. Hadn't read even the synopsis yet, but when I was looking at the scenes and everything, I'm just like, well, this looks interesting. It's not what you'd expect, but it definitely looks like some fun. It looks very interesting. Dialogue alone, I could tell, okay, this is classic Billy Wilder. So I had to have it. At that moment, I was just like, okay, I gotta get this because I know I'm gonna love it. So yeah, I went ahead and decided to pick this one up. And this was one of the more expensive ones because I think this one just recently came out. Maybe not like recent, maybe like last year, but still recent enough that it wasn't as deep of a discount as some of the other titles that they had on sale. So $10.99, not the best deal ever, but not the worst deal ever. And certainly for a movie by Billy Wilder, I was just like, yeah, okay, I'll do that. Next up, I got The Scalp Hunters, which I know the name alone kind of sounds bad. It sounds like, whoa, is this a little racist here? But no, it's not racist. The main character here actually plays somebody who, played by Burt Lancaster, is somebody who is trying to stop people who are scalpers, who are scalping Native Americans. He's trying to stop them in their tracks, stop them from committing those terrible atrocities. And yeah, it looked like a very interesting film just from like the trailer that I saw for it and everything. And it was directed by none other than Sidney Pollack. So I was just like, you know what? Trailer looks good. Concept sounds interesting. It's like a Western that I've never seen before. Even appears to have a little bit of, humor to it. I'm going to give this one a chance. I'm definitely going to give this one a chance. So I actually had my eye on this one last time during the last sale, but decided against it. And then in this sale, I was like, I'm not going to wait anymore. I'm going to get this because it sounds and looks so damn interesting. So I think it was like $7.99 or $8.99, one of those two prices. It was a pretty good price though, so gladly picked this up. And I think it's going to be really good. I haven't seen it yet, obviously. All these I have not actually put into my Blu-ray player to watch yet. But from what I saw of the trailer and what I understand about the movie, I think I'm really going to like this one. I mean, when it comes to Westerns, I will admit I'm a little bit picky. So this one, if it's something that interests me, it's probably going to be pretty good. You know what I mean? But yeah, hopefully I will have good things to say about this one in the near future. Speaking of Westerns, I also decided to pick up A Fistful of Dynamite, aka Duck You Sucker. Duck You Sucker. Never seen this one, but on the recommendation of my good friend Skinslip, I decided to pick it up because, well, it's one of those, like, it's a Sergio Leone movie. It's, he directed three of the most, well, not even just three, like 4 or 5 of the most important westerns ever made, period. So he probably knows what he's doing in that arena. And this is like, what is it, like an unofficial sequel to the Man with No Name trilogy. It's an unofficial addendum or whatever to it. So, or at least I think that's the case. I might be wrong about that. But either way, you can't go wrong with Sergio Leone. You can't go wrong when he's doing Western films in particular. And this is another Western from Sergio Leone. So I'm expecting very good things. I'm sure it's going to be freaking fantastic. And hey, there are actually a lot of special features on here. I gotta say, that's one nice thing about Kino Lorber, is that unlike other Blu-ray manufacturers and whatnot, if you get like a Twilight Time title, you won't get many special features on that. You know what I mean? If you get a Shout Select title, there won't be many special features, if any, on that. But when it comes to Kino Lorber, they at least give you what I wouldn't call like an extensive amount of special features, but a pretty nice amount. A decent, respectable amount. In many cases, a comparable amount to what you'd see from like Arrow. So, not bad. Very good stuff. Can't wait to see this one. I might actually check it out with my friend Skinslip. Who knows? Next up here, a complete and total departure from the others. I decided to pick up Eleni. Eleni, I don't know how to pronounce it, but this is one where I saw the trailer and I was sold. Because the concept itself was just very, it looks like such an uplifting movie. And I know, well, of course it looks like an uplifting movie. Look at this artwork here. Of course you would have that impression. But no, there's an aspect to this movie, just that I saw from the trailer alone, that just feels like my kind of revenge flick, if you will. And it also felt like something that, given the trying and weird and sometimes disturbing times that we are currently living in, might be something that I'd like to watch. I've mentioned before that I like to watch movies that kind of make me think and ruminate about the things that are happening in my life and in the world around me. So when you or people you know are struggling for various reasons, or you are just seeing all these things happening around you that you just can't even believe are happening, you know what I mean? And you seeing all these, terrible people rise up to power and all that. It's just like, I don't want to get political, but to put it bluntly, because of things like that, I like to watch movies like this, which are very much like about getting revenge for terrible things that were done to people for terrible reasons. So, yeah, and maybe it's not something that you should, want to seek out. And I feel like this movie, maybe just based on the premise of it alone, comes to the conclusion that it's not something good to be seeking out, that revenge, it isn't worth it and all that stuff. But who knows? Maybe this will be one of those weird revenge flicks that are just like, actually, revenge is great, and you should totally do it. I don't know, but this is starring John Malkovich in particular and Linda Hunt. I had never heard of it, never seen it. It's a Peter Yates film, if that tells you anything. So it seemed very interesting to me based on what I had seen of the trailer, and seemed like something that I really wanted to see. So when I saw it at a price tag of, I think it was either $7 or $8, it was a very low price, I was just like, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that. And probably the reason that it is so low price, no special features there, but what are you going to do? Next up here, I decided to finally pick up Solar Babies, which I've never heard of. A lot of people say it's a terrible movie, but again, it's one of those things where the premise of it is really, like, it sold me. I'm sure it's very cheesy. It looks cheesy. It sounds cheesy. Everything people have told me about it is cheesy. I get it. But there's also like this cult following for this film. So I'm just thinking, if there's a cult following for this film, there must be a reason. And knowing that I like certain cult films of my own, I gotta give it a chance, especially considering it's like my kind of sci-fi, like the post-apocalyptic. I mean, it feels kind of like a post-apocalyptic film, doesn't it? I mean, just from the trailers alone, I got the sense that it was a kind of a post-apocalyptic vision of the future, or, you know, that even there were some elements of what happens in this movie that you could compare to things happening in the world today, or that you could compare to things that actually could happen in the world today. And then other elements that obviously you couldn't compare because they're too outlandish or whatever. But either way, it definitely sounds like and looks like a very interesting film. So because I'd never seen it, because like everybody was talking about it every now and then, I'm always hearing somebody talk about this at least once in a while. So, you know, if people are talking about this that frequently, and I won't say they're talking about like all the freaking time, but, you know, I hear about it every now and then, and if I'm hearing about it frequently enough that when I see it there online for like $7, and yeah, it was only like $7, I'm going to go ahead and get it because it seems like an interesting movie. Might not be good, might be terrible, but it seemed pretty interesting, and I've never seen it, so especially for a sci-fi fan like myself, I'm a huge sci-fi nut, gotta give it a chance. I usually like any sci-fi movie, even the bad ones, but yeah. Anyways, next up here, this may be one of the only, like, comedy films here, and that would be Real Men, starring James Belushi and John Ritter. Never seen this, never really heard of it. I seem to recall the artwork here on like a VHS tape way back in the day. Like, I can remember going to Blockbuster and going through like the 99-cent rental sections and seeing this there at some point. That's the only real memory I have of it. Never saw it on TV, never actually rented it, never actually saw the movie or heard anything else about it. But, you know, knowing what I know now about film and knowing what I know now about people like James Belushi and John Ritter, I just gotta check it out, man, because it looks so damn funny. And I know, if it was really this, like, hidden classic, this hidden gem that was actually brilliantly funny and everybody loved and was like some kind of a cult classic, then I probably would have heard about it before now. You know what I mean? But I watched the trailer, and while some aspects of it didn't seem funny, there was one particular scene in the trailer that literally made me burst out laughing. So, based on the fact that just one scene in the trailer alone made me laugh my ass off, I'm pretty sure I'm actually going to like this movie. I mean, that and the fact that you got James Belushi and John Ritter, two of the funniest men who ever were born. So, yeah, pretty good stuff here. Dennis Feldman directed. Nothing really notable or noteworthy here, I don't think. But it seems like a pretty damn funny movie, and I definitely wanted to see it. So, yeah, this one I think was a little bit more expensive because it was more recent title. Not super recent, but recent enough that it was a little more expensive. I think it was either $8 or $9, but still higher price than you might have expected for one that doesn't have any special features. But what are you going to do? Whatever the case, it definitely looks like a lot of fun. Can't wait to check it out. Last but not least, this one has actually been dropping significantly in price on Amazon recently. I've been watching with bated breath, if you will, on the price tracker on Amazon to see how low it gets. It's down to $12.99 as of my making this video, and I'm just like, wow, that one dropped a lot. But even at $12.99, I paid less for my copy. My copy was, I believe, $9 or $10, one of those two. I think it was $10. But either way, still paying less so far. Who knows? Maybe I paid too much. But whatever. It looks like a really interesting movie, and I think it'll be pretty clear why I'm interested in this movie when I show you. I got Cradle Will Rock here. This was the 1999 movie, so it's the last movie I'm showing you that I got, obviously. But the reason that I got this, and I know you probably can't read the tiny, tiny print there. I'll start right up here. Tim Robbins. A Tim Robbins film. Okay. And then you get to the list of stars who are in this film. You got Hank Azaria there. You got Joan and John Cusack. If you go further down the list there, you've got Bill Murray. I mean, John Turturro. There are so many notable actors in this film, and it just looks so good. And when you got that many well-known actors in a film like this, you kind of got to give it a chance. And the premise, again, is another thing that sold me on it. Just the story alone sounds really interesting. So definitely wanted to check this one out, and that's why I got it. So in total, I got 9 movies I'd never seen before and I still haven't seen. But we'll probably get around to watching some of them very soon. 9 titles from Kino Lorber from their most recent sale. And I believe I paid less than $90 for all of them. So even the ones that, even with a few of them being $10.99, I still paid, I think it was $87.50 or something like that. So yeah, pretty happy with my pickups here. Very good stuff, I hope. I'm sure a lot of these are very good, and then maybe some of them are cheesy crap, but whatever. I'm just hoping to like them myself for my own reasons. I'm pretty sure I'm going to like things like this, which is Alfred Hitchcock, and Frank Capra, and Billy Wilder. I know I'm going to like that one. But, you know, the others will remain to be seen. I'm sure I'll like this one because it's Sergio Leone, but especially the newer ones here, the Eleni, and then Solar Babies, and Rio Men, and The Cradle Will Rock. That remains to be seen if I like those. I don't know. But I'm pretty confident on the older ones. Alfred Hitchcock, definitely going to like that one. And Billy Wilder, Irma LaDouche. Yeah, I'm probably mispronouncing that, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to like that one as well. So, anyways, that will do it for me today. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you later. Peace.